Yeah, good evening everyone, and a very warm welcome to Fabrics Live, an exclusive session hosted by Microsoft Fabric User Group Hyderabad in collaboration with Student Nexus. We are thrilled to have you all here for what promises to be a truly insightful and engaging event. So, it is our distinct honor to welcome today's speaker, Mr. Inturi Suparna Babu sir, an accomplished data engineer analytics professional with over 7 years of hands-on experience in tools and technologies like SQL, Python, PySpark, Power BI, and of course Microsoft Fabric. Sir brings with him deep expertise.
Yeah. So thank you, Anusha. Thanks for a warm welcome. So first of all, I would say thanks to Harish and Anusha for giving me this opportunity. So good evening, everyone. So first, let me start my screen sharing. So I hope my screen is visible. Can someone confirm?
That's sir, it's visible.
Just a minute. Okay. So first of all, welcome everyone. So thanks for joining with us today evening. So So let's move to the next slide. So wherever I am going to start my session, so I'll start with some motivation. So let's see what is that motivation. So here, if you see, the motivation is like if you are from India, you will know this name, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So face the failure until the failure fails to face you. So what does it mean? So it is nothing but you have to face the failures again and again until failure reaches to you. It fails. It means you have to try. If you are trying for anything, if you want to become any if you want to become if you want to do any certification, then you have to keep on practice. If you want to become a good data engineer, okay, so it should be like that. You have to keep on trying. If some people, what they will do, they will try few times, 2 to 3 times or 5 to 6 times, and they will give up. No, not like that. You have to be succeed in your life until it should um, the failure fails to face you. Okay, so this is about motivation. So now let me reintroduce myself. So myself, Intur Suparna Babu. So I am a BTech graduate from JNTU. So actually I have a this slide is to corrected. I have 7+ years of experience in data and analytics field, and I am also running a community called Next Gen Data Aspirants Community, and I'm a Fabric community super user, and as well as I did this certifications PL 300, DP 700, and DP 600. Anusha, just one thing, a few people are facing the issues with joining the link.
Yeah, sir, we'll sort out it soon. 1 minute.
Yeah. So is it corrected?
Sir,
Yeah,
we
sir,
have
it
been
was
done.
corrected.
Yeah, yeah, just a minute. Let me take it forward to my team. So they are messaging me in the WhatsApp. Team, just 1 minute. Mm, because so many messages coming, just bear with me 1 minute. Okay, so this is about myself. So let's move to the today's topic. So let's move to the today's topic. So the today's topic is so Microsoft Fabric. So Microsoft Fabric, is this a replacement or revolution? So is this replacement or revolution? So let's see the today's agenda. So if you see the today's agenda, so I'm going into the how the role classification is there and how Power BI as a reporting solution and what are the tools and technologies. Like I'm going to talk about Azure and Power BI and how the Azure came into the picture and what are the fabric and the core components. Then finally, I'll tell you what is this verdict. Is this a replacement or solution? And followed by I'll at the end of the session I'll give you the time to ask you all your questions. So this is about agenda. So let's move to the further slide. So first I'll start with a use case. So just you people let me know. So how many of you are using Tata New? Just you can just reply in the chat box, because I want to be a session should be interactive. How many of you are using Tata New? It's like a how you are using Amazon and Flipkart website, like how you are ordering your mobiles, your electronic gadgets, and whatever you are requiring, how you are booking. The same kind of it's okay. Uday, yes, I am okay. Thank you. So now here, if I see, so Tata New is a online e-commerce portal. Tata New is a online e-commerce portal. It's launched in 2019. These are the founders, and there are so many founders are there, but I took only top three people. But I took only top three people. So now, so here, if you see, so what it will offer? It will offer shopping and lifestyle. It will offer shopping and lifestyle and travel and hospitality and health and wellness financial service. So how it can provide? So if you remember, Tata will have a, let's say, Big Basket. So Big Basket is a product of Tata. Let's say Chroma. Chroma is a, in Chroma you will get the electronic gadgets. It's a subsidiary of Tata. So that's how it will use. So in this, how why I took this Tata New. So let's see what is the main objectives of this use case. So the main objectives of this use case is, so what it will they, so they are providing a one digital ecosystem to the customers. They are providing a digital ecosystem to the customers. So like customer experience, cross branding integration. So app, we have a app and a data driven personalization. So these are the things they are going to provide. So by using this Tata New application. So now let's say if this is the thing, so I want to order something. So if I want to order something, so what I need a website. Okay, I need a Android app. So I need a some support engineers. I need some cyber security to protect the data. Okay, I need some cyber security engineers. So let's move to the next slide. So here if you see, so what all roles or services does need for building this application? The first one is, if you see, the first one is app development. Okay, second one is, as I said, website. So cyber security, why cyber security required? For protecting the our website and data. And QA engineers, support engineers, so data engineers, data analytics, and data scientists. Okay, these are all services required to build this platform. These are all the services required to build this platform. Okay, so now in this, especially what I am going to talk from this all roles, because now we are going to talk about Microsoft Fabric. So in this, especially if I want to talk about any other thing, So the thing is, I'm going especially focusing on these three roles. That's what in my agenda also I mentioned, roles classification. So leave it this all thing. So primarily my objective is focus on these three roles. One is data engineer, one is data analytics, and one is data scientist. Okay, one is data engineer, data analytics, and data scientist. Now here if you see, so you are all seeing this app development, website development, cyber security, QA engineers, support engineers. For this, these three are the root roles. For these three are the root roles. Without this tree, this this roles does not exist. Because why? Because let's dive into the further slides. You will get the clarity. Now, if I come to the this one, so let's say for this data new use case, first I'll talk about data engineer. So what data engineer will do? Okay, what data engineer will do? So data engineer will collect the data. First they collect the data, they will clean the data, and they will do the transformation, and they will do the data modeling. So if I talk about this use case, so let's say in this e-commerce platform, so we will have a seller data. For example, so let's say if you are purchasing anything from Flipkart or Amazon, let's say you will purchase one product, let's say iPhone. So is iPhone directly manufacturing and selling by Amazon? No, not, because it's just providing a platform. Because in that we have the sellers, the sellers which those are registered with the Amazon, and they will ship the products with the help of this platform, like this customer data. So like this customers data, they will maintain customers data. So how many transactions happen, and how many orders happen. And if you ask me, they will collect feedback and rating also. If you don't like the product, you can give the feedback and you can give the rating also. This and all, they need to collect the data, they need to clean the data, and they need to transform the data, and they need to model the data, so now this is about data engineers. The toughest role, one of the toughest role in the this data roles, the one and only role is data engineer. Why I am telling you data engineer is the role? They are struggling a lot. They are struggling a lot for doing this all types, because this is the foundation step. Once if it is done, the next role is data analyst. Let's see what data analyst is telling. Okay, if you see the data analyst, so in this, so once data engineer role is completed, if he provided the data, he or she provided the data to data analyst, then what data analyst will perform? They will do the analysis. So last year what was the sales, this year what was the sales, and what are the key insights. Let's say which region is performing well, or else which product is performing well, how under data validation and reporting, this and all data analyst will do. Let's say this is a some sample report. If you see Tata New e-commerce analytics report, here if you see the total sales is this much, total profit is this much, and previous year sales is this much, year over year growth is this much. Like this, which region is performing well? By seeing this, uh, client will take the decision. So let's say this is the sales by country. Let's say this country is low performing sales. Why it is performing the low sales? Like this, they will assess and they will take some key business decision for improving their business. Some key decisions for improving their business. Okay. So once if data engineer will make ready the data, then data analyst will do this performance. Okay, once data analyst is completed, then the next role is comes into the picture is data scientist. Let's see what data scientist will do. So data scientist also will get the data from data engineer, will get the data from data engineer. Okay, and parallel they will consume Power BI reports also. Data scientist, they will consume Power BI report also. So here if you see why data scientists are comes into the picture, so they will build some machine learning solutions, they will do some model training and predictive analysis and business strategy, data interpretation. So what is this all? So here if you see in my screen, let's say, so here 5% extra, up to 5%, up to 5%, up to how they are giving up to 5% on this. So here if you see extra 12% off. So for everything it showed extra 12% off. Okay, so based on this product sale and based on this product how the people are purchasing, they will train the models by using the machine learning algorithms. They will predict the analysis. Okay, they will predict the analysis, and so based on that it will show you. Let me take a one real time example. So hope you will all watch the movies in the OTT platforms, okay, like Amazon Prime, Hotstar, and Netflix. So if you go to the Hotstar or Netflix or Amazon Prime, first you can watch any, let's say, action movies. So if you watch continuously 2 to 3 days any kind of action movies, the fourth day or else the fifth day, it will recommend you the action genre movies. Why? Because they are tracking what you are doing. They are tracking based on your interest. It will show based on your interest. It will show. So that's the kind of thing here. Data scientist will play a key role. So they will predict the future. They will predict the future. Data scientist, what they will do, they will predict the future, and they will what going to happen. So in this all three roles, data engineers, what they will do, they will do the data cleaning and data readiness. Data analyst, what they will do, they will tell you what happened in the past. And data scientist, what they will do, what is happening in the future, what is going to happen in the future. These are the roles about all these three: data engineers, data analyst, and data scientist. Now, okay, now in this what I'll do, let me talk about data analyst. So how I build that report. Okay, how I build that report. So if you see this Tata new report, how I build this. Let's say how I build this. If you see, this is a visualization tool. For building this, we need a business intelligence tool. So these are the top intelligence business tools in the market. If you see, these are the top business intelligence tools in the market. So here if you see Tableau, Power BI, some Click, Looker, and Domo, QuickSight, these are the top BI tools. So these are the top BI tools. But now in this session, I'm going to talk with Fabric. So now further, let me talk about Microsoft Fabric. Let me talk about Microsoft Fabric. So here, if you see in this, I'll pick the Power BI. Why Power BI? So can someone tell me nowadays everyone why Power BI is a primary tool, visualization tool for every organization? Come on, just you can share your thoughts in the chat box so that session should be interactive. Just share me your thoughts. Why this Power BI is the one of the best business intelligence tool? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. That's no problem. Fine. So here, if you see, Power BI is the one of best business intelligence tool in the market. Okay, just give me a moment. I'll take my pen. Okay, Power BI is the one of the best business intelligence tool. Obviously, because Power BI. So I was attended one of the conference from the Microsoft. In that, yes, I attended Power BI 10th birthday. In that, Microsoft people are telling that in across the globe, 96% of the organizations using the Power BI for their reporting purpose. Okay, 96% are organizations are using the Power BI report for their reporting purpose. So why this got famous? Because of its pricing. First point. Okay, in this month before April, the price is $10 per license, pro license. Now after April, they increased it up to, I think it is $14. If I am correct, $14. So here if you see what are the services Power BI will provide. Power BI will provide Power Query for data cleaning. So Power Pivot, once the data cleaning is completed, you can use data modeling. So once the data modeling is completed, and you can build the data visualization in the Power View, and you can share your report. So I cleaned the data, I did the data modeling, I did the data visualization. Then how I can share the report with the end users? So am I going to directly share this PBX file with my end users? No, not. So for that, there is a separate platform called Power BI Services. Okay. For that, there is a separate platform called Power BI Services. So by using this all three components, we can build the report in a very easy manner in the Power BI. It is a very user-friendly tool, and anyone can understand this tool. Okay. So this is about Power BI desktop. Now let's see what Power BI will do. What Power BI will do. Now let's see what Power BI will do. So here if you see data storage, data processing, data analyst, and data sciences. I segregated into four types. So in this each and every segment is that Power BI will support, or else we need to depend on someone else. Let's see. We need to depend on someone else. Let's see. Okay, first let me talk about data storage. Okay, obviously data storage is not possible. Obviously data storage is not possible. Why? Because Power BI is not a tool to store the data. Power BI is not a tool to store the data. It will useful for only data visualization. Okay, it will only useful for data visualization. Now let's see the data processing. Okay, okay, fine, somewhat better. Here if you see the yellow color and tick mark means data processing. Somewhat some of the data we can process, but not the huge data and big data. So that's why it is showing as a yellow color tick mark. Okay, data processing is fine. Now let's see the data analysis. Now, if I see the data analysis, wow, very good. For data analysis, Power BI is the very good tool. Power BI is the very good tool for data analytics. So that's why it is green color tick mark. So data analysis, Power BI is the full fit. Now let's see the data science. Now here if you see for the data science, so obviously it is not possible the predicting the future or doing some training the models and all. So now let's see the what all this for segmentation. So data storage, now where we have to store the data. So Power BI is a not a tool to store the data, and so where to process the data. Somewhat if we can do the we can do some limited amount of data, but huge data or big data it is not possible. Okay, fine. And for reporting purpose, okay, well and good, it's a excellent tool to visualize the data. And for predicting the forecast, no, it's not possible. For predicting the forecast, it's not possible. Okay, so what we can do? So does it mean that Power BI is a good tool? Can we overload the tool? No, not. Okay, for that, then what we will do, let's go into a some flashback. Let's go into a some flashback. So here if I go to the flashback, some of the generations of Microsoft products. What are the generations of Microsoft products? Now I am in the flashback. Okay. Now we are in the not in the 2025. We are in the 2010. Let's assume we are in the 2010. So if you see from the 2001 to 2010, these are the tools with respect to the data they launched in this decade. If you see Excel, SharePoint, SSIS or SSRS, SQL Server, and MSBA. Okay, so those newly learning the Power BI, before Power BI was in the picture, there are three different tools: SSIS, SSRS, and SSMS. These are the tools. So one will be taking care of integration, one will be taking care of reporting, and one will be taking care of storing the data and processing the data. These are the tools. Okay, so now can can someone tell me how many rows of data can we can store in the Excel? Come on, in the chat box, how much data can we store in the data? How much rows of data can we store in the Excel? 10,000? No, 10 lakhs? Yes, 10 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 10 lakhs. Let's see how many rows. Uh, how much data can Excel or CSV handle? 10 lakhs rows. Okay, okay, fine. So, okay, up to 10 lakh rows, I can use the CSV. What if more than that? Okay, for that also I have the solution. Let's go. I have a SQL server. Okay, I can store the data in the SQL server. Okay, let's see how much data can I store in the SQL server. If I see here 10 GB maximum we can store the data in the on-prem SQL server is 10 GB, and if there is any hardware upgrade we can store the 100 GB in case of hardware upgrade. Okay, this is I'm talking about on-prem SQL server. Okay, then what if more than 10 GB I have a data? So where I need to go? Okay, where I need to go. Okay, okay, now enough about flashback. Let's come to the present. Now here if you see, as I mentioned earlier, Tata Neu was launched in the 2019. Okay, at that time, let's say assume the data volume of this e-commerce platform is 1 terabyte. Okay, so for 1 terabyte, so let's see if this is feasible solution or not. I i purchased a one laptop. Okay, and the laptop cost is 1 lakh. Okay, fine. Okay, in the 2019. Okay, I will afford that 1 lakh, and I will do it all the data storing and everything in the laptop. Okay, okay, because my laptop hard disk is 1 terabyte. Okay, let's say 2009 is it is fine. So what if the data increases? What if the data increases? Now we are in the 2024. Let's see what is the data volume of the this use case. Now here if you see, now here if you see, in the 2025 the data volume is increased to 10 terabytes. The data volume is increased to 10 terabytes. So can I buy 10 laptops for maintaining, storing and processing this data? Come on, you can answer in your chat. Can I buy 10 laptops? Come on, team. Can I buy 10 laptops? Okay, not. No, fine. So, so it is not a feasible solution. Why? Because so in 2025 it could be 10 terabyte. So if I go to 2030, it could be 100 terabyte. So can I purchase 100 laptops? No. Who will maintain? I need to hire 100 people. I need to take a office. So this and all very hectic. So then what I'll do? So then what is the solution? So before going into the solution, let's see how this data is rapidly increasing. Let's see how this data is rapidly increasing. Now here, if you see, let's take, see, listen carefully. So I hope all you are using this Google Photos in your mobiles. Whatever the you are taking photos in your mobiles, I mean, if you are using Android mobiles, so we have an option called Google Photos. So 1.2 billion photos and videos are uploaded in Google Photos every day. See, 1.2 billion photos and videos. So what is the total size of that photos? 13 PB. What is meant by PB? Petabytes. We will have a megabytes, gigabytes, zettabytes, petabytes. See, so on an average daily, this much volume of data is uploading in the Google Drive. Okay. Now let's see. Let's come to the YouTube, because we all are following the YouTube videos for learning purpose and for other some other purpose. Here, if you see in the YouTube, 400 hours of video uploaded every minute, not every day. Here it is per day. Here if you see, it is per day, but here if you see, it is per minute. What is the volume of this 400 hours of video? 1 petabyte. So 1 minute 1 petabyte, so 1 hour 60 petabytes. Okay, so in one day how many petabytes? Three I think it go up to large data. Okay, so how we can store this data? How we can store this data? That's what my concern. So because if I go with any on-prem technologies, no, it will cause maintenance cost, high maintenance cost. I need to take a space, everything. So then what I can do? Okay, now let's see from where or which domains the data is generating rapidly. Okay, so if I see here the data, if you are seeing, I am getting the data generation from automobile industry. I'm getting data generation from some home appliance. So I'm getting data generation from EV cars, logistics, and mobile apps and cell tower, stock market. So this is from wherever, everywhere nowadays, like how Wi-Fi is roaming around us, data is roaming around us. Okay, data is roaming around us. So without data, we can't predict anything. Okay, Now let's see how this data size and data growth increased. Okay, let's see. So this I took from Google. So here if you see data size and data growth, this is worldwide. Okay, volume of data created and replicated in 2010. So see, it is in the zettabytes. Previously we talked about petabytes. Now this is zettabytes. I'll tell you what is this zettabytes. Okay, so in 2010 2 zettabytes. If you see, there is a rapid increase. Okay, if you see, there is a rapid increase. So until 2014, 2015, 2016, also 2017, 2018 also, it is fine. But from 2020 to 2025, there is a rapid increase. Why? Because initially, if you see, if I remember, in 2010, 1 GB data cost is, if I remember, when I used it at that time Vodafone SIM. If you remember, not Vodafone Hutch. So the recharge price is in Indian currency. I'm telling you, 249 1 GB, 249 1 GB. Now, why this much usage is happening? Because of the data prices are increasing very low. The data prices are increasing very low. So let's say in 2010, 249 1 GB. Nowadays, we are getting 1 GB for 1 rupee also. 1 GB for 1 rupee also. That's why the usage is. So usually, let's say if I talk about gold rate is also increasing like this. But if I talk about data price, it is decreasing like this. In 2010, let's say it is 249 Indian rupees. Now it is 1 rupee like this. This is the something, one of the reason. Now let's see what is this zettabytes. Okay. So if you see, can can someone count how many zeros are there in this zettabyte? 21. If you see 10 to the power of 21. Actually, we are in the gigabytes and petabytes. But what is this zettabyte? 10 to the power of 21. So in layman terms, if I explain, so if you are using any DVDs in 2010 or 2005, 2011, 12, in that times, there is a famous, nowadays everyone using pen drive or cloud. But in this, actually, when I did my graduation, I submitted my project in this DVD. So this 1 zettabyte is equal to 250 billion DVDs. Okay, this is 250 billion DVDs. Now, in this way, there is a rapid increase in the data. Okay, there is a rapid increase in the data. So where I can store this data? So let's see what are the on-prem challenges for storing this data. Okay, so if I see the on-prem challenges for this data, scalability changes, as I said earlier, high maintenance cost and security and compliance risk, and always need some extra IT support. So I need to hire a people for maintaining this, because and limit, the main important is disaster recovery. What is meant by disaster recovery? Let's say in Hyderabad, I am maintaining a one on-prem database in one of the building. Today in rain is happening in the Hyderabad. Let's assume there is a flood and my entire database is vanished into the flood. Then how I can retrieve the data? This is one thing, one of the important key factor, disaster recovery. And limited access. So if anyone want to access the data, so they have to come Hyderabad, because if he is sitting in some Bangalore or Chennai, Pune, he is not going to access the data, because the data is physically presented in the on-prem. It is not in the cloud. Okay, fine. Okay, let's see what are the two big problems of this data industry. So if I see two big problems, how to store the huge data, because as I mentioned earlier in the previous slides, there is a rapid increase in the data generation. And the second one is how to process the huge data. Okay, we will get the data, that's I agree. So how I can process this data? Because raw data, we will get the raw data. How I can process the data? Okay. So for this, there is a some person, they come from the sky and they are giving some options for us. Let's see what are those options. Now, if I see, in this case, we need cloud computing. What is meant by cloud computing? Okay, what is meant by cloud computing? So the cloud computing is nothing but a, we will store the data in the our cloud online servers. If you see, uh, these are the three major cloud services platforms: AWS and Azure and GCP, Google Cloud Platform. So these are the cloud providers. They are maintaining a data centers. They are maintaining a data centers. If you see in India also, if I talk about Azure, Azure data centers is will be available in Mumbai, Pune, and Chennai, and in Hyderabad. Actually, they are going to launch. I'm not sure they are launched or not. They are going to launch the one more data center in the Hyderabad. So they are maintaining everything. They are building the. They are providing the infrastructure. They will take care of everything. If you see, first of all, unlimited storage device and backup and recovery, efficiency, faster deployment. So if I talk about backup and recovery or else disaster management, let's say I'll take me, Suparna and Harish working for the Azure. Okay, working for the Azure in one of the company. Okay, so so I'm maintaining a data, so I'm building the some development, and Harish also building the some development. Suddenly there is a flood happened in the Bangalore. Okay, suddenly, and there is a power outage. So there is a delivery on tomorrow. Okay, let's say there is a delivery on tomorrow. So what Harish will do? So because already I am working on the cloud, it is automatically, let's say this is a Hyderabad data center and this is Bangalore data center, and it is connected with interconnected with some cables, data cables. Already whatever I am working the data, that is already automatically saved into this cloud environment. So what Harish will do? Harish will copy from this Bangalore data center, and tomorrow he will start from there and he will deliver to the product to the respective client. So this is how this disaster management or recovery backup and cost effective also. So just you need to pay the only money. You don't need to maintain any infrastructure setup, any resource setup and all. Just you can go and pay. You can go and pay and take the whatever services you want. Okay. So this is about this cloud computing. Now in this, primarily I'll focus on Azure. Why? Because today our session is Microsoft Fabric. So I'll focus on the Microsoft Azure. So here if you see, let me talk about Microsoft Azure. Okay, if you see, Microsoft Azure is launched on 5th first 2010. 5th first 2010. Okay, so it's almost 15 years. 15 years completed, and second largest cloud in the world. Second largest cloud in the world, and 80% of Fortune 500 companies are using Azure. And this is a pay as you go, and it is almost across the globe. We have in the 60 plus regions. Okay, these are the some key components. It is providing availability 24/7, global standards, lower cost, and high security and high scalability. Okay, so this is about Azure. Now, if I talk about what all Azure services it is providing, so see, these are the services. If you see SQL, ADF, and some Synapses, some Kubernetes, okay, some security, okay. So it have a 20 plus categories and 200 plus services. It has the, if you want, you can build a mobile gaming application. If you want, you can build a generative AI agent. We have all the services, but in this all the services, now I'm going to talk about what are the services related to data domain. What are the services related to the data domain? So now let's see what are all those services. So if I see here in this Azure, so we will have the ADF, Azure Databricks, Azure Synapse, and Azure SQL, ADLS, and Azure Machine Learning. So these are all the services currently we have in the Azure ecosystem for the this data platform. Especially when I talk about data platform, these are and more the, and we have few more services also like Blob and others also. So but these are the major services. Okay, these are the major services. Okay, okay, fine. So by using this, how can we do the process and how it is helpful? So before going into that topic, let's one more time we can go into the flashback. Okay, we can go into the flashback. So here if you see, already you see these are the products from 2000, and I mean major products from 2010 to 2000, 2001 to 2010. So these are the on-prem tools, whatever you are seeing. Okay, nowadays Excel also is providing at the time on-prem tools, SharePoint. Nowadays you can see Microsoft Excel is providing on-prem tools. Are you able to hear me? Hello?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I heard some sound, some network issue. Okay, okay. Sorry for the interruption. So, if I talk about, so these are the tools: ADLS and Azure Synapse, Azure Data Factory. Okay, fine. Azure SQL and Azure Databricks. So these are the on-prem tools and these are the cloud tools. So when it is launched from 2011 to 2020, in this span of this 10 years, these are the major tools. If I talk about major data tools, these are the tools. Okay, let's see what is the current ecosystem. What is meant by current ecosystem. Let's jump into the next slide. So if I go here in this slide, so this is sorry, Azure with Power BI current ecosystem. So okay, just I'll take 1 minute pause. Can someone tell me what here it is happening? What these people are discussing in the chat? I want to see the chat answers. What those three people are discussing here. If you see data engineer, data analyst, and data scientist, what these three they are doing something. What they are doing? Come on. Okay, fine. So here, if you see, first let me talk about the technical part. Storage plus processing. Here if you see, for the storage and processing, so we can store the data in the ADLS like raw data. If you want, you can store any data. Okay, you can store CSV, JSON, Parquet, any file format or this format. In the SQL, you can store the structured format like in the tables. So this is a processing and this is also a processing tool. These two are the storage components. These two are the processing components. Okay, once if it is storage is and processing is completed, then analysis. For that analysis, I need to take a Power BI and I'll build the report. Okay, fine. Then how I can share? I can share by using the Power BI services. So if you see here, this is from Azure and this is from Power BI. Okay, this is from Power BI. This is a separate platform. Even though these two tools are fall under Microsoft parent. What is meant by parent? So the parent is the Microsoft. Under the parent of Microsoft, this is a separate platform and Power BI is a separate platform because portal.azure.com, app.powerbi.com. URLs also different. So why and what happening here? Because of this two ecosystem latency, there is a delay pulling the data and processing that reporting the data. There is some performance issues, and majorly if I talk about cost management, please listen carefully. You can, if you want to storage and process the data, you can take the Azure license, so Azure subscription if I talk about. And if you want to do the report, you have to at least minimum you can take the Power BI Pro license. So here what happening, you have to purchase two workloads. One is from Azure and one is from Power BI. Okay, and the second thing is access management, security, some cross dependency, because these two are the independent platforms. Obviously there will be, we will have some cross dependency issues. So that's why these people are fighting. Data scientist is asking to data engineer, why you are not giving the correct data. So data analyst is also fighting with the data engineer. That's what I told. Data engineer is a very very toughest role, and if you master it, this is the very easiest role also, because these two are depend on the data engineer. That's why they are fighting each other. Okay, fine. So this is the current ecosystem from 2015 to 2023. Okay, fine. Now let's see the next era. What is meant by next era? Next era means future. What is our future? So if I talk about future, so the next era, the from 2023 onwards, Microsoft Fabric is launched. So these are the some key components of Microsoft Fabric like Copilot, Power BI, and these are the components. If you are seeing data activator, data warehouse, one lake, data science, I think data science is repeated 2 times. Okay, fine, it's fine. And real-time intelligence. Okay, it's just beginning. These are the Microsoft was launched in the 2023. So these are the tools in the Microsoft Fabric. Now let's go and see what is this Microsoft Fabric. So now I'll explain in the layman terms. I'll first basically I'll explain in the layman terms what is this Microsoft Fabric. So now if you see what is this? Come on, tell me what is this in the chat box. I expect your answers because team, this session is I want to be a very interactive. What is this? I hope, I believe every one of you visited this in your life. Yes, shopping mall, very good. Okay, this is shopping mall. Why I bring this example? Let's say I'll take one example. Let's say Harish. So, for Harish, there is a marriage scheduled. Okay, there is a marriage schedule. So now Harish wants to plan to take a clothes. So he wants to buy a one shirt and one pant and shoe and one watch. So if he goes traditionally for shirt and pant, he go to cloth showroom. He go to cloth showroom. For purchasing the shoe, he went to shoe showroom. For purchasing the watch, he went to watch showroom. So here what it will happen, he went to three different places. One is cloth showroom, one is shoe showroom, one is watch showroom. So it will consume more time. It will consume more time. So if suppose he went to shopping mall in the one single place means one stop shop. Here he went to this clothes showroom and he will purchase the shirt and pant. Okay, sorry, this is the clothes showroom and he went to this watch showroom and he will purchase the watch and he will go to this shoe showroom and he will purchase the shoe. So he will save the time. He will save the time. So he will save the time. So why I bring this example, if you see next slide, Microsoft Fabric is also same. It is a unified platform like this. Why I took that example, it is also like a one-stop shop. You can come into the Fabric shopping mall. You can do whatever you want. If you want to process the data, you can take Data Factory. If you want to build a report, you can take Power BI. If you want to build if you want to set up any alerts, you can go with this activator. If you want to maintain the data in a structured format, you can go with the data warehouse. And it is also AI capabilities. What is meant by AI? There is an inbuilt tool called AI tool Copilot. It will support all the AI tools. And moreover, there will be one important component, one lake. You can store all the data in this one lake. Okay. So this is about Microsoft Fabric layman example. If I move to next, now I come to the theoretical part. So if I come to the theoretical part, so Microsoft Fabric is launched on 23rd May 2023. So this is in the preview stage. So the general availability is GA announcement is on the 15th November. So maybe we are in the September, October, in next 2 months, Fabric is going to complete 2 years. The second birthday is going to happen in the November 15th of Fabric. And as I mentioned, it is a SaaS application. So it is a unified platform and it integrates technologies like ADF, Synapse and Power BI and many tools are there. Okay. Now let's move to the next slide. So lot of theoretical slides are there. Now let's see the video presentation. What is this Fabric? Uh, just a minute. Let me enable the sound. So if you don't want to hear the sound, just please tell me and I am playing this video. Uh, Just a minute.
Power your AI transformation by bringing all your teams and data together on one complete AI-powered data platform, Microsoft Fabric. With OneLake, you get an open and AI-ready data lake for the entire organization that can connect to data from anywhere in multiple ways, so that all users are working from the same copy across analytics engines. From data integration to data engineering, data science to real-time intelligence, your data professionals have all the tools they need in a pre-integrated and optimized SaaS environment. And they can extend Fabric further with native industry-specific workloads. With the new Fabric databases, you can provision simple, autonomous, and AI-optimized databases in seconds, ready to unlock innovative new scenarios for AI transformation. For large volumes of in-motion data, you can use real-time intelligence to ingest, transform, and explore data for instant insights. And you can define criteria to trigger downstream actions. All this intelligence can then securely flow to Power BI and the Microsoft 365 applications your people use every day, informing their decision-making with insights right where and when they need data the most. And everything is backed by category-leading security, governance, and compliance capabilities. Plus, Fabric empowers your people to accelerate productivity with Copilot and built-in generative AI features. All your data, all your teams, all in one place. This is Microsoft Fabric.
Yeah, this is about Microsoft Fabric, just a kind of movie trailer. Okay, just a kind of movie trailer. Now, here, if you see, this is the Microsoft Fabric architecture. Here, if you see the already, as I mentioned earlier, these are all the components which is supported by AI, OneLake, and Purview. So, okay, these are the solutions. Okay, now let's compare the Azure services with Fabric components. Now, let's compare the Azure services with Fabric components. Now, as I mentioned earlier, in Azure, we will have the ADLS. That ADLS is equivalent to the Lakehouse, because here also you can store the structured, semi-structured, and raw files. In Lakehouse also you can store the structured, semi-structured, and raw files. And how ADF will be processing the data in the Azure. In Fabric, we have a separate component called Data Factory. So this will be as a comparison between this Azure and Fabric. Fine. Okay. Then what about structured data? In Azure SQL, how we are saving the data in the form of a structured data. So structured data means in the tables format. In the warehouse, you can store the data in the structured format. So this is the comparison between these Azure and Fabric components. Now let's see what a traditional system made the innovation of Fabric. Why this thought came into the Microsoft mind. So it's because of they want to do a BA reporting and cloud computing and big data processing and data warehousing. These are all the four traditional systems, because these four are the individual traditional systems. Because for BA reporting, you are going to use one tool, for cloud computing, for big data processing, and data warehousing. So this is about traditional system. Now let's see how it is different from existing Azure cloud services. Obviously, everyone will have this question in your minds, because already even though Azure also providing the same, then what is the difference? So it is a dedicated unified platform for only data, only for data. There is no data means you can do the analysis, you can process the data, you can clean the data, you can do the some machine learning tasks, everything. And one lake data platform, you can use the one lake data platform. One lake means once if you store the data, you can access this data. Anyone means if you want, you can suppose let's say I am a data analyst, I'll pull the data from one lake and I'll build my report. If there is any other person, if they want to predict the future by using the machine learning task, if he can pull the data from the one lake. Okay. And the advanced analytic capabilities, it will have a lot of advanced analytic capabilities, and it is a collaborative environment, and it is a kind of a simplified user experience. It's a kind of a low code no code. If you go with the data flow gen 2, it's a low code no code solution. Okay. So here that is the thing only mentioned, onboarding and trials, lot of things here they mentioned. Okay. So team, am I not audible? Can someone respond please? Okay, okay, thank you. Thanks for your confirmation. Sorry for the disturbance. Okay, now here, if you see, these are the how it is existing from the Azure Cloud Services. Now, let's come into the our uh, okay, just a minute. Okay, now let's see. Vedic. So, is this really a replacement or revolution? Is this really a replacement or revolution? So, as of now, because Azure 15 years in the market and Fabric 2 years in the market. Okay, so Fabric is the 2 years in the market and 15 years Azure in the market. So most of the organizations will prefer Azure. Why? Because this is the 15 years of experience and this is a just a new kid. It's like a kind of a new kid. Okay, it's a just new kid, but he is a very professional person. Okay, so but who knows, in future this Fabric will overcome all the capabilities of Azure. I would say what is the all the capabilities means, capabilities is nothing but a in terms of data platform, not all the platforms. So in future we may expect Fabric will support for all the capabilities. Currently what are the this Azure is providing to us. Okay, this is the verdict about Fabric. Now let's come to the conclusion. Now let's come to the conclusion. Okay, so if I come to the conclusion, so now the conclusion is, obviously I agree Fabric is a revolution, but not a replacement. It's not a complete replacement of Azure. It is a revolution. Why? Because it will introduce a new way of our working with the analytics. It is a kind of a new way. New, what is meant by new way? So just I'll go to the app.fabric.com and I will do everything in the one URL. I will not navigate to the any other portal.azure.com. If I talk about, so it introduce a new way of working. It introduce a new way of working. Okay, so now, but it is not completely replacement of Azure, because still lot of advanced and large scale and some niche analytics needs should be improved in the Fabric, because it's a just a, as I mentioned earlier, it's a just a 2 years old. Let's say in your house there is two children, one is having a age of 10 years, one is having a age of 4 years. So if I ask anything, who will give the correct answer? Because obviously 10 years kid. Okay, 10 years, because he is a matured person. But who knows, this 5 years kid also may overcome in the upcoming years. Okay, so this is about conclusion. Now I am opening the floor for questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And meanwhile in chat, if there is any question, let's see. This is Harish, Anusha, this is ended my presentation.
Yeah, sir. Thank you so much for this session. So if anyone have your queries, you can ask to sir or put it in the chat box. No
Can
one.
this,
So thank you so much, sir, for this session.
yeah,
Yeah, sir, you can go.
yeah. So the cost, someone is asking Shiva. So what about cost? The cost is depending upon your requirement, Shiva. So it's depend upon your requirement, your project architecture and everything. It's based on the your architecture design. And the storage also, you will have the, so even though Fabric is the front face, but the backend is still ADLS is supporting ADLS, and few of the other components are supporting. In what scenarios would be Fabric replace Azure services, and where would Azure still be required? Fabric will replace in terms of complete data working items. So Azure means, let's say if you want to build a Android app, so can I build Android app with Fabric platform? No, it's not possible. So if I want to make a something, some if I want to make a some graphic designer, that is not possible. Okay. Okay. The second question is, what is the major difference between both of them, Azure and Fabric? See, Azure is a cloud. Azure is a cloud. It will have the 20 plus categories and 200 plus services. If you want, you can go into the Azure and you can build the web application. But that is not possible in the Fabric. Fabric is especially related to the data driven tools. What is meant by data driven tools means, if you want, you can build a data analysis report. If you want, you can process the data. If you want, you can build that some machine learning algorithms. Okay, what kind of things can we expect from Fabric differ from Azure? So that's the thing. Whatever I explained in the session, the same things only. These are the data driven tools. And can you give me today's agenda? Srin, just you can go through the recording. Already I given the today's agenda, so you can go through the recording. Which is more budget friendly for smaller scale or enterprise scale side? So obviously you can go with the Fabric. In Fabric also, if you want smaller scale, you can go with the F2 or F4 SKU, or else if there is a enterprise scale, if you have a huge volume of data, then you can go with the F4 and above. Okay. Okay, let me stop my screen sharing. And Fabric overcome Azure. No, no, we can't, because Azure is a version. Okay, Azure is a version. It will not happen. Okay, my company is adapting, start migrating data from on-premise to entirely. So I think Kumara Bhima methods along with the DevOps, any of the above. Okay, Bhima, you can let me share my LinkedIn link in the chat box. You can connect, you can ping me on LinkedIn so I can guide you. Okay, let me share my LinkedIn handle. So I shared my LinkedIn URL in the chat box. You can connect with me. If you have any questions related to the Microsoft Fabric or data engineering, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to help you all of your answers. Okay, Fabric certificate something. Yeah, sure, Bhargav. You can just connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll share the roadmap of data engineering. Yeah, thank you, Anusha. So that's all from my side.
Yeah, sir. Thank you so much for this session and for taking your time to share your knowledge and experiences with us.
Yeah, thank you all. Have a happy weekend.
Thank you, sir.